We're bringing you highlights from England's World Youth Cup quarter-final against Mexico. But here comes the big one. Match commentators Andy Gray and Martin Tyler.
It's not quite a death or glory scenario here, but psychologically it will mean so much to the winners, if there are any, of course. And an outright result will be regarded as a major pointer as to how this intriguing Premier League puzzle will eventually be solved. Saunders challenging Pallister and pushing him.
I mean, there's so many things to look for today, the way managers have approached the game. I'm wondering, for a start, if Gary Pallister's going to be given the job of taking Dean Saunders everywhere he goes, because I do think Pallister is a little bit quicker than Steve Bruce, and if I was Dean Saunders, I would certainly be trying to pull onto Steve Bruce.
Hughes with a header, beating Brian McClare to the wide. The two managers here have confronted each other 7 times, 4 wins for Ron, 2 for Fergie, all the victories by 1-0, throw in a goalless draw as well, and you can see that strategy has been a major influence. Here's Bruce. And the block by Staunton, needing the intervention of Bruce again, and classily done by the Manchester United captain.
I was about to say that perhaps nerves would play a part in the opening 10-15 minutes of this game, but Steve Bruce has just produced 2 moments of sheer skill and calmness that really do surprise you this early in a game.
Here's York. Pallister has to leave the side of Saunders to give Manchester United a bit of depth in their defending there. Earl Barrett, who of course started in Manchester with Manchester City. Giggs for Hughes. Here's Owen. Now Lee Sharp. Sharp has suffered just a little lapse in confidence really in recent games. There's no lack of confidence for Villa here through Parker in midfield and Staunton. And Staunton shoots, to the disappointment of Saunders, who was cutting in across the face of the penalty area from the Villa right, hoping for something slotted into his path.
And look at Dwight York at the top of the picture, how open he is as well for Saunders, just to slide for Staunton, just to slide the ball to. Well, I think that's always a good thing if you have a shot at goal early in the game.
Villa's record here is awful. They've won only twice in 62 years. The last time, back in the early 80s, a couple of goals from Peter With. Here's Cantona. Oh, McGrath miscalculated. That doesn't happen too often. Owen. Villa had to turn, and the free kick given for United.
There's a lot of water put on the pitch all morning, and players are finding it a little bit difficult in the first 5 minutes to keep their footing.
Well, the noise coming from the Stretford end, who'll have a close view of this. And what a sweet sight it's been for the United players to have fans back in this part of the ground since they were readmitted. 11 games here, 11 wins for Manchester United. Owen has been excellent in these circumstances. Here he tries again, and he gets the whip and the dip, but not the direction.
Well, I think Mark Bosnich would have had a fair idea of the area that Dennis Irwin was trying to put this ball into.
Giggs, first real chase back for Small, and he's a dogged defender and natural in that respect. He's certainly got to be on his mettle this afternoon.
That's where Ryan Giggs will find he's met a match, certainly pace-wise, in Brian Small.
sure Manchester United expected small selection, and they've virtually said, well, you're putting that out to try and stop Ryan Giggs, but we believe Giggs will hold the upper hand. There's been no switch so far for Giggs away from the right. Here's Parker. Here's quick throw. It's Cantona, well stopped by Bosnich. Was an instinctive parry from a typical shot of terrific technique from the Frenchman. Leclerc almost getting the break against Barrett, but the flag was up. But the first real save of the game is required for Aston Villa from Mark Bosnich, and he didn't fail them.
Well, we all know Cantona's quality in volleying the ball. Just pulls off Sean Teal there and makes a super contact with the ball.
Saunders. Bruce is the defender. Schmeichel comes, and Saunders doesn't score. They certainly claim, Villa, that it touched the goalkeeper, and it should be a corner.
It did touch the goalkeeper. Peter Schmeichel saves this. There's no doubt in my mind about that. He gets a foot to it. But Dean Saunders, I don't think that's the area that I think he tries to look for, just wide of the centre-backs. He gets in there, he drives it, and you see Peter Schmeichel's left foot is the one that proves vital. You'll see it from this angle, I'm sure. Hits the target. There you see it. What an important touch that is from the goalkeeper.
Owen, Hughes, McGrath, former colleagues. Mark Hughes, a survivor from the time when Ron Atkinson was the manager here.
That'll be a titanic battle if it continues like that. Mark Hughes and Paul McGrath.
Sharp. Here's Bruce. Giggs is coming to the centre, a clever header, and Sharp! Oh! 7 yards out. A lot to aim at, and he found very little.
Well, he's got to hit the target here. It was a magnificent move, great set piece, beautiful delivery, a magnificent diagonal run, and knocked back from Giggs. Hughes causes a confusion, and I'll tell you what, Martin, there won't be many better chances than that. Just collects the top of the bar here, but he should be doing better than that from that range.
Cantona. Leclerc, Parker, a lot of space. Teal cut it out by the near post area, and now has to defend again. McGrath and Teal, Bruce and Pallister. Giants in terms of defensive pairings in the Premier League. United with the best goals against record in the country. Hughes and well, there was room to run from Leclerc there because Small hadn't stepped up.
Well, that can be a problem, can't it, when somebody like Brian Small, who's come in and out of the team and is perhaps not tuned in to the other three back four members. It must have been about 10 yards deeper than anyone else in that situation.
York. And it's Ray Houghton, there's no flag, and he slid it wide, and Houghton following Saunders in getting clear in at Schmeichel and not collecting.
Well, normally Ray Houghton in this situation is so calm. The timing of the run's perfect. You see Steve Bruce is the one playing him onside there, but it's really a poor finish from a man of Ray Houghton's quality. But I can't believe I've seen as many chances this early on in the game. Two glorious chances, one from each side, and Ray Houghton should at least make Peter Schmeichel save the ball.
In association with Sega, the challenge for the FA Cup has hit fever pitch, and only Sky Sports brings you both FA Cup quarter-final replays live. Tuesday at 7, Sheffield United face Blackburn. A hard-fought draw in the quarter-final, now a game that one team must win. Then on Wednesday, after last week's thrilling 6-goal battle, Sheffield Wednesday face possible giant killers Derby County live at 7. Both great cut times, exclusively live this Tuesday and Wednesday, only on Sky Sports.
building society that's helped more people with savings and mortgages than any other. And we can help you manage your day-to-day finances with credit cards, cash dispensers, convenient switch payments, and Maxim, a check account that can pay you regular interest. Why would you want to be with anyone else?
It happens to be true. I only want to be with, I only want to be with, I only want to be with.
Get a little extra help from the Halifax.
Mr. Taylor, look!
You wouldn't think they could get this into there, would you? Well, they do. Time after time.
Guinness Draft Bitter, far and away a better bitter. It was to be her first tour since the breakup of her marriage. Without her husband by her side, much was at stake for the Princess of Wales.
Both British royal watchers here and the Nepalese are describing this tour as an outstanding success.
Join Simon McCoy in Nepal with Diana, a princess on top of the world.
Have you enjoyed the trip, ma'am?
Yes, I have. Thank you very much.
Tonight at 6:30 on Sky News.
Sharp is in behind Barrett. And Bosnich. There wasn't much in it as Hughes came in.
Well, that's a much better cross from Lee Sharp, wasn't it? Made up his mind earlier, he was going to get his foot round this. Delivers into a great area. Mark Bosnich makes it look very easy.
How? Owen. Who is really a miracle man. There's no question of that after 6 knee operations. Richardson and Giggs showing appreciation in his own half of the pitch, and Schmeichel swept it upfield and Hughes is offside. Wasn't an easy pack pass for Schmeichel to deal with, but he coped very capably.
And I think he was happy it arrived in the volley though, Mark. Had that just bounced about a yard or a couple of feet in front of him, I bet it would have made it a lot more difficult.
Parker, after some consistent work from York.
This game's got a zit about it, it really has already.
Cantona, Leclerc goes to the right. Cantona waits and passes perfectly. Brian McClair, tackled by Small. Aston Villa collectively turned to look at Alan Gunn. And the referee indicated for the game to go on. But there's been no transgression.
Well, as you would expect, 34,000 people in this ground don't agree with the referee, and I'll be in the minority because I thought he made the right decision.
Houghton, here's... Well, the flag's gone up there, and Gary Parker, I think understandably, is really perplexed by that. But let's look at the incident at the other end, with Brian Small and his tackle.
Well, this is timely, this tackle. You can see the problem Small is. Cantona does brilliantly. Leclerc thinks he's in, but let's watch it carefully. Small's going after the ball. Well, does he get a foot round it, or does he take Brian McClair? I'm not so sure, having seen it again.
Well, Alan Gunn saw it once. Brian McClair, who with his Aston Villa connection would love to get a goal here. He's never scored against his old club.
There you see it again, Martin, and having seen it again, I do think there that Brian Small, looking at it, is lucky to get away with that tackle.
Mistake by Parker. Rolled into the feet of York by Small. Bruce trying to break it up. Still Villa. Only Saunders in the penalty area though. They're trying to get in front of Pallister, and he did that. It needed the deftest of flicks.
Well, he was totally isolated on his own, wasn't he? Dean Saunders, the only Villa player in the box, but watch the way he makes up his mind early. He's attacking that near post. and it's a very difficult chance, and he does well to get anything on it at all.
Here's Houghton. Very streetwise, if you like, in midfield. Aston Villa with Houghton and Parker, Richardson and Staunton. Around at the top level for a long time. Giggs with the ball at his feet has the world at his feet. Still Giggs. And that was Brian McClair coming late on the scene, but almost lethal to Aston Villa.
That's the most difficult thing in the game to mark, and that's what made Brian Robson, was this type of attacking of the penalty area. Comes from a long way, but just can't control his header. It's almost impossible to mark that.
And that was certainly direct from McClair. For Hughes, who's reacted marvellously. Parker prodded at it. Just wasn't set. Hughes entitled to be disappointed. He'd made a lot out of very little.
He's a little bit unlucky. He did everything right, Mark Hughes here. The difficulty in controlling it, uses his arm a little and gets away with it. But watch the way he composes it. And the one thing the ball never did was sit down enough. He wants to hit it there, but look how high it bounces. And that forces him into the pass.
Mark Hughes has an excellent record against Aston Villa. He got the winner in this fixture here last season. And Giggs is offside.
No, he's not. I'll tell you what, it wasn't Giggs that's offside for me, Mark. I think it's Eric Cantona who just strayed a little bit, but I watched Ryan Giggs' run very closely, and the one thing he didn't look to me was offside. We don't get a great view of it from there, but look at the number 7 there. He's the one I think is offside. There we see it again, and there's, you think it's Cantona, but certainly for me, Giggs had timed his run to perfection.
Staunton in behind Manchester United for a fleeting second. A rueful reaction from Bruce. Gary Parker will take the corner for Aston Villa. Manchester United, who lost to a corner on Tuesday, and Schmeichel was uncertain, perhaps with that in his mind.
Well, the almost goal they lost was almost identical, wasn't it? A corner came over, Peter Schmeichel came out against Oldham, didn't collect it. Little Adams was on the back post against Paul Parker. But just look at the way that Paul Parker's got a hold of Dean Saunders' shirt there.
Here's Giggs. And again. And Giggs has carved it out for himself. Bosnich. Oh, an inch. As Aston Villa were a little slow to react then.
Well, they're furious at Brian Small because I think it's him again. There he goes. The left back, you see, playing everyone on side. And really he's spoiled for choice here, Ryan Giggs. He can roll it to Brian McClair, who has an empty net. Opts for the shot. But let's credit the goalkeeper. Spread himself very, very well.
Staunton. Here's Owen. And still off Bosnich. McClair. And whatever it hit of Mark Bosnich, it was a hard part of his body because the ball bounced away. A favourable distance as it turned out. There's a trip on Ince by Houghton.
It was another lovely piece of build-up football from Manchester United. Great little 1-2 between Irwin and Sharp. But again, I tell you what, the goalkeeper's earning his corn for Villa, isn't he?
Lee Sharp will take the free kick. Over Cantona. Steve Bruce saw where the ball might drop. And playing now like an old-fashioned winger. Bruce, Pallister, and Bosnich control again, although he didn't really appreciate the attentions of McClure.
Well, that was easier than this one was. Look at Irwin's skill there. McGrath throws himself into the tackle. The goalkeeper does enough to get something in front of it.
It's beautifully taken by Cantona. Hughes. Cantona again. Out of harm's way by Teal. Irwin. Cantona, McClure, and they've opened Aston Villa up yet again.
But this is a more difficult chance. Again, it's great build-up play from Manchester United. The movement's been excellent. Look at the way he pulls off of Sean Teal. He's so aware of McClure's position. But take it from me, that was a difficult volley.
Paul Parker's stability in terms of absence of injury has been an important factor in the way this Manchester United team have developed as the season's gone on. Parker was out for 6 months, of course, with those hamstring problems. Houghton. Well, Ray Houghton is one of those who knows that it takes a special durability to win this marathon. He and Kevin Richardson and Steve Staunton have lasted the course at other clubs. Manchester United's only championship medal winner made a smaller, though significant contribution over a couple of months with Leeds, Eric Cantona. Here is Cantona, out-foxed by Teal. Half-time almost upon us.
Yes, it's been a half that's given us everything apart from a goal, isn't it?
And here's the main man responsible for that, really. Mark Bosnich delighted that Australia got through in the World Youth Tournament in his native land and celebrated here with a fine first half in the Villa goal against his old club. Villa started well, and Saunders and Houghton had early chances in a game that's been very open considering the circumstances. Cantona part of a concerted attacking effort from Manchester United.
Tonight, the action hots up in the Stones Bitter Championship when Warrington battle Halifax. Halifax have their sights on the Premiership, but they know Warrington will give them a fight on home ground. A classic confrontation in the big league tonight at 7 on Sky Sports.
What's that you're drinking?
Foster's.
I'll have a pint of that then, barman. Oh, I'm afraid Thanks.
Don't mention it.
I used to have money. Lots of money. Until 9:45 this morning, I earned a packet.
Don't talk to me about pride and principle.
Yes,
talk
sir.
to me about
Yes,
programs,
sir. Yes,
process,
sir. Yes.
procedures, profit.
No, sir. I used to have a fast car. That's somewhere near Eastbourne now. I had everything money could buy. Triple time zone watch, hand-stitched shoes, Italian designer suits, and of course the girls.
What?
What? But I gave it all up.
You gave it all up. Wally,
Don't you just hate it when that happens?
you did say Eastbourne.
Foster, don't you just love it?
Excuse me, have you been to any of Britain's theme parks recently?
No, but I've not exactly had the time, have I?
In this week's Daily Mirror, you can go free to top theme parks and attractions all over Britain. It's fun for all the family. A wonderful extravaganza of entertainment and excitement just for you. Everyone, well, almost everyone can join in.
We want to go to a theme park.
Make sure of your free days out by the Daily Mirror tomorrow.
I'm a Terminator.
Real.
Get down.
But this time, there are two.
Stay down.
Go!
Go! Now!
Hasta la vista, baby.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, Terminator 2. Tuesday night action at 10 on Sky Movies Plus.
I'll be back.
He ruled the ring for over a decade. He filled more arenas than Ali, Foreman, and Sugar Ray combined. And he's been crowned WWF champion 4 times. The immortal Hulk Hogan returns.
Are you ready for WrestleMania 9? It's Sunday, April 4th, live only on Sky Sports.
Ron Atkinson, who was manager of Manchester United in 1984, when after 32 games they were top of the table and they finished 4th. The type of slump that has infuriated the fans here. We see the title as the ultimate trophy for all the cups that have been won in the knockout tournaments. Giggs. Kevin Richardson covering with due responsibility. A little slow to move to Cantona as he moved to receive the throw. Parker. It's behind Hughes and beyond Sharp. Cheering for Brian Robson warming up. McClare. Here's Hughes. Barrett. Showing what a fine defender he is. Remember, picked once by Graham Taylor for England in that tour to Australia and New Zealand.
I think we're fortunate today. I think we've got the 2 best English right backs in the Premier League on show today, Paul Parker and El Barrett. I think they've both had fabulous seasons.
Both challenging Lee Dixon. We're determined to hang on to his England spot. Parker has been in the England squad this season. Gary Parker, that is. Cantona. It's another sweeping raid by Manchester United. Carried on by Cantona. Hughes was calling for a little layoff to the Frenchman's right. Here's Owen. McClare for Owen, and Bosnich blocks it with his body again. Sharp. Play on. Cantona coming in. Staunton trying to buy Villa some time. York, and maybe more than that. Parker. Well, it's an excellent response from Ron Atkinson's players when Manchester United, particularly through Cantona, were really bearing down on Bosnich's goal. York for Staunton. A spell here summing up the afternoon. Just too high for Saunders. Parker. United having to show how well they can defend. McGrath wanting to link up further forward. A show of initiative from him. It was Parker who met it defensively. Small. Now Staunton. It's a good try. It's a fantastic goal. A fabulous match here, and a goal worthy of the occasion from Steve Staunton for Aston Villa.
Well, it was going to take something special. Look at Ron Atkinson, you would think he was just out for a stroll there. But what Steve Staunton won't have done is scored any better goals than this in his life. One touch, takes aim, and Peter Schmeichel has absolutely no chance. Just watch that. Look at the strike from Steve Staunton. Quite magnificent.
And the goal coming after Aston Villa had really rallied at a time when Manchester United were striving to get the first goal themselves. And here comes Ince for Giggs, for Sharp. The response is instant. Cantona, and that was Teal, and where's it going to drop? It's behind for the corner.
Well, we wondered what we would get, Martin. It's more of the same, but this time, early in the second half, we have at last a goal.
Pallister, who of course helped it on for Manchester United's winning goal at Anfield. McGrath, it needed somebody with authority then for Aston Villa, and McGrath didn't fail them. Saunders shrugging aside Giggs, who wrestles him down.
That's great play from your striker when your team has been under a little bit of pressure from that corner. Just watch the way that Dean Saunders fights for his life here and gets his team a little bit of breathing space and a free kick.
Houghton. Here's Parker. Corner. Manchester United point to recent matches here when they've been behind, to Sheffield United, to Southampton, and come back late in the day to win 3 points on both occasions. But this is a daunting task for them. Schmeichel started to venture off his line again, and the ball passed beyond him.
It does seem a little bit uncertain. It doesn't have Peter Schmeichel from corners like that. But let's have another look at this wonderful strike. Again, it was a patient build-up. It's Brian Small who picks him out. There's no real right to shoot from there, let alone produce a finish of that quality.
Well, goal of the season is an overused expression because there are so many fine strikes. But this is certainly the game of the season. Quality of the goal in keeping with that.
The test for Manchester United is now, can they keep playing the way they have been playing for this first 55 minutes? Or will frustration start to go in?
McClair, as Cantona just tried to hold the ball up for him. Irwin. Villa have left two upfield if they do break, but getting the ball is the problem. Irwin, it might come Cantona's way here. 1-1. Is that the measure of a side that will finish as champions, to hit back so quickly against their closest rivals?
It's a perfect response from Alec Ferguson's team. The deflection plays an important part, but Brian Small doesn't do enough on the back post. Cantona nods it back, and Mark Hughes doesn't miss those. Great movement from Hughes, because he goes near post, it doesn't come to him, he shifts his position and again attacks the other near post. Great play from Hughes.
Well, Mark Hughes has helped himself at Villa's expense in the past. As I mentioned earlier, the winning goal here in this fixture last season. 5 goals in 2 games at Old Trafford against Villa in Hughes' first spell at the club. Here's Giggs. Old Trafford is rocking to the rafters here. Giggs!
Every week, Sky Sports continuing coverage of the toughest golf circuit in the world, the US PGA Tour. This weekend, man of the moment, Stormin Greg Norman will be looking for 2 in a row at the Honda Classic in Coral Springs, Florida. He'll be chased hard by a strong European contingent led by world #1 Nick Faldo. So join me, David Livingston, for live coverage of the final 2 rounds of the Honda Classic, starting tonight, exclusively on Sky Sports.
Gillette introduces the perfect way to start your shave. Gillette Series Shaving Gel. Advanced lubricants, easier razor glide, an incredibly smooth shave. There's no better gel than Gillette Series Gel.
Gillette, the best a man can get.
March 25th sees the launch of the Mondeo from Ford. You have until then to test drive the competition.
We go there.
We do that.
We go there.
We do that.
We go there.
We do that.
We don't go there.
We do that.
We go there.
We don't do that.
We go there.
We do that.
At Thomson, we spend 52 weeks a year making your 2 weeks perfect.
Hi, Mrs. Rossi. I'm here about the weekend job.
What do you want here?
They started out as strangers.
Our destination is New York City.
I'm just gonna have to turn right around and come back.
But before the weekend's over,
Yeah.
She's not bad.
Ooh, bingo. Boys alive.
they're going to feel like family.
I don't know whether to shoot you or adopt you.
It's not much of a choice, is it, sir?
Al Pacino,
I'm just getting warmed up.
Scent of a Woman.
Oi, come on, life's always better in the sun. How do they get their stories? Now all can be revealed. Someone called me up and said, I'm the one who squealed. Will bureaucrats in Brussels unify the nations and standardise your sausage to meet the regulations in the sun? In the sun, in the sun. In the sun.
With each new day, you find a way to be your best.
Gillette Sensor for the best shave possible.
You know you gotta be a little better than the rest.
Sensor has spring-mounted twin blades that adjust to every detail of every face. Gillette Sensor. And now there's Gillette Series Aftershave Gel. It moisturizes so your face feels comfortable all day.
Gillette, the best a man can get.
The best in Premier League football tomorrow on Sky Sports. Crystal Palace face Chelsea in Ford Monday Night Football. The London Derby, with Palace fighting for survival. Exclusively live from Selhurst Park at 7 and in association with Foster's. That's tomorrow on Sky Sports.
United, after 2 blanks against Villa at Villa Park, have found the way into the back of the Villa net. It's a terrific tackle on Gary Parker. Paul Parker. Cantona, once involved again. Hughes trying to come in at the near post. Cantona working round the back. There's a real menace about Manchester United, and he's pointed for the goal kick.
Thought he made a meal of it, Eric Cantona. He looks to get, and he's looking to get in the box. Again, there's contact, and he does make a meal of that one, I felt. Thought the one in the first half was more of a penalty, seeing it again than that one.
Alan Gunn has been through this so many times. He's on his 2nd extra year on the refereeing list, beyond the usual automatic retirement age, and he's hoping for a further extension next season. The players haven't made it difficult for him today. They've wanted to perform, and who wouldn't on this stage, on this day?
And his two hardest decisions have been the penalty incidents, haven't they? The one in the first half and that one we've just seen. Apart from that, as you say, the players have got on with the job in hand of entertaining this huge crowd here and this huge TV audience at home.
Cantona. McClair. McClair again! We'd have to say at this stage, you'd back Manchester United to go on and win.
Well, some of that football's been breathtaking. And this is another super move. The way it's fed into feet. A little ball off to Giggs, whose diagonal run always troubles defences. Little laid back, suggestions of offside, but I think had that nestled in the bottom corner, there'd be no doubt Brian McClair would have been celebrating United taking the lead.
We should mention, of course, that Tony Daly is available to Aston Villa. Back after a severe knee injury, certainly short of match action, but he almost lasted the whole game against Tottenham on Wednesday when Aston Villa played very well but didn't win. Here they've been more and more on the receiving end despite Staunton's special goal, but they are drawing, and you feel they'd be quite happy to get that, but Daly represents an opportunity to attack on the break swiftly. I would hope decisively. Daly's first task here, and it's always a risk making a substitution when your team is defending, but Tony Daly didn't let Villa down. The switch purely tactical. Sharp. Beaten by Barrett. It's been a good duel. There have been so many. Alistair with the speed to get across and track Saunders. One of those quirks that when Dean Saunders has scored for Aston Villa in the Premier League, they've always won. Hasn't scored yet here, although he might have a chance here. And then the omen would have come into play.
I think Steve Bruce is just having a word with Paul Parker, maybe saying, well, why didn't you tell me he was there? Or why weren't you round and covering me? And he almost connects there, doesn't he?
Paul Parker. Cantona. Oh! Now Till could be in serious trouble here. Cantona got in behind the Aston Villa number 4. Ray Houghton recognising the danger signs, but the card that's out looks a yellow one from this angle.
What might be in Sean Till's favour is how wide this is. It's right on the edge of the 18-yard box, and I wonder if the referee will consider that's too wide to warrant a red card. Certainly had it been in the middle of the goal, then perhaps yellow may have turned to red in that situation.
But the barometer here is pointing in Manchester United's favour. That was another episode to indicate that Aston Villa are ill at ease at the moment. It's Ryan Giggs for Manchester United. Acrobatic, athletic. Bosnich in truth would expect to save it there. But it looks so exciting.
Yeah, straight above Mark Bosnich, and you wouldn't expect a goalkeeper to be beaten there. But mounting pressure from the Old Trafford side.
Alistair. Giggs. It's his angle again. Bosnich coming through the crowd, nowhere near it. Bruce. It was blocked from Ince. Aston Villa preserving the parity here.
Now they got out of jail there. They really, really did. Again, it's a deflection that causes the problem, but Mark Bosnich tries to go through an awful lot of traffic there. Gets blocked, you see, with the number 10. Steve Bruce is looking for a penalty, and Paul Ince is foiled by Paul McGrath on the line.
Barrett. in the proximity of Kevin Richardson then. And Ince making sure Manchester United don't lose their way. 4 in the middle for Giggs to try and find. McGrath eases it out. Hughes! Where was that bound for? McGrath made that question academic. Sharp. Villa stressed again. Hughes! And this time the header flies straight at Bosnich. And there's no rest because the ball is curled up to York, who slips Bruce and suddenly finds an extra gear. Daly, of course, has got that as well, but opts for the cross. And I wonder whether Dennis Irwin did touch that. The answer is no, because it's a throw. Saunders was shaping for a volley and was obviously distracted by the jump rather than any deflection. Was waiting because of the sun in his eyes. McGrath took a chance. McClare. Here's Irwin. Again, a willing runner forward. Sharp where you'd expect to find him. Cantona likewise in the centre, joined by McClare and by Giggs. Bosnich thinking, well, he might dismantle the goal if the danger was really looming.
He obviously knew exactly what he was doing though, Mark Bosnich. Keeps his eye on it all the way, knows it's going over.
Cantona. Here's Giggs. Very much on the left now. Four wearing red hang their heads in the centre. We can't expect him to get it right all the time.
No, I think that, I mean, we talk about the qualities of Ryan Giggs and they're there for all to see. But the one thing I do think he will work on and will have to work on is his final ball. I think that's the difference between him and Lee Sharp. I do feel Lee Sharp has got a better quality into the penalty area than Ryan Giggs has at the moment. But at 19, and that's something he can learn and master. Tell you what, Martin, at times this season the Premier League's taken a little bit of stick from people about the quality, but you won't see a better game than this anywhere in the world. I think that's how good a standard it's been today. It's been fabulous.
And looking to our left where we see commentators from all over the world, we shouldn't forget the attraction that English football does have. At time we tend to not what is closest to us. Who stood the test after a harrowing spell in the first half. Daly. Out. And Richardson just kept the heartbeat going for Aston Villa. And Richardson! Oh! Well, after what Staunton did, you look very closely at everything from long range from Aston Villa.
Well, they back off. Look at them, the way they back off, and they say to Kevin Richardson, if you want to try your luck, then go ahead. And he did come very, very close. Look. They don't go and press the ball quick enough, and that just tempts Kevin Richardson, who comes very close.
Well, we're very close now to the result that Mike Walker and Norwich City want, but it's not over yet. Saunders. Well, you could see he was looking for something, spinning and swerving inside that far post, but there was no strength in the end. Fine tackle by Small. Oh, a stray one from Houghton, is it? York. And Barrett. And Aston Villa held their breath, but they've held on to get a point. They took the lead here with a stunning strike in a splendid game. But Alec Ferguson's team came back quickly through Mark Hughes. Handshakes all round, and rightly so. That really does epitomise the entertainment here and the sportsmanship too. Hughes got the equaliser after Staunton had struck with arguably the goal of his life. It's still neck and neck, 61 points each now, 9 games to go. And don't forget Norwich City. A head-to-head here in which every sinew has been stretched out on the pitch, every nerve exposed amongst the two sets of supporters. Mark Bosnich performed admirably on his return to Old Trafford. The ultimate significance of this showdown can only be judged at the end of the season. But Ron Atkinson can leave his old club today, his head held high, and Manchester United, I don't think, will be too bashful about what they've displayed.
So 1-1 here, and this is how the top of the FA Premier League looks after all that. Manchester United and Villa still locked together on 61 points apiece now. Norwich City in third place, just 2 points further back. Is it a four-horse race if Sheffield Wednesday can put a result or two together? But it's going to be a terrific finish. Now, as promised, highlights from that World Youth Cup quarter-final. England against Mexico. It was goalless at the end of 90 minutes. We join it in extra time.
Stephen Watson. Pearce got the nod on, the chance! Bart Williams denied by a splendid save from the keeper. Captain Solis. Harried up, and that in fact is it. It's down to penalties. Valverde for Mexico. Man of the match against Norway. He scored a goal in that game. He was dropped against Saudi Arabia. This is the chance to pick up the pieces. They're in the box seat, England, after just one penalty kick. Olave sent his penalty crashing against the crossbar. The captain, Darren Caskey, former England schools international. And you don't have to be Einstein to say that was a class penalty. Astivia. It's back to 2-2. The Newcastle boy, Alan Thompson. The antics don't put off Thompson. They're back in front again. 3-2. England are ahead. And that is such an elegantly placed spot kick. Chris Bart Williams comes up for the next kick. Man of experience. He'll be used to this sort of pressure. The Sheffield Wednesday man comes up. And he's equal to the task. 4-3. They have to score. They have to score with his fifth kick. Solis, the captain, carries the hopes of a country of 1.5 million players, of 28,000 professional players. Solis. And a save by Watson. They've won. Watson, the hero. England march on.
So England through, but only just. You can see the semi-final live here on Sky Sports at 10 AM on Wednesday. Ghana the opposition. Highlights at 6 in the evening, and that's just one of 4 live matches that we've got coming up over the next few days. Tomorrow night, the Monday Night Football comes from Selhurst Park. Crystal Palace against Chelsea, 7 o'clock start. Tuesday, again at 7 o'clock. We're concentrating on the FA Cup now. Sheffield United.
Way to close down with a specially extended edition of Sports Night.
Good evening. A momentous week for three of the biggest names in British sport. To show he's still at the top of his business. After Turkey and San Marino, the real thing for England at Wembley tonight as they face the Dutch superstars. No Van Basten, but there was Gullit, Rijkaard, Bergkamp. We join the match in just a moment. And we'll reflect the career of the man they call the best manager England never had.
We don't play in the clouds. If God wanted us to play football in the clouds, he'd have put grass there. We play on grass, and we play to feet, and just my interpretation of football. I'm not sure what yours is, but that's the way it goes.
Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland all playing World Cup qualifiers tonight as well. We have all those games. A World Championship Britain nearly always wins, the World Snooker Championship. Quarter-final action from there later, round about 11:50, late. And with the Aussies already here, we look ahead to the cricket season and to the smallest surprise in sport, Wigan Rugby League Club going to Wembley yet again. The World Cup then, and England against Holland, the big two of Group 2. Our big two watching with us. And our commentary team at Wembley, Trevor Brooking and John Motson.
It's a complete sellout at Wembley and also an anniversary occasion. 70 years ago on this date, April the 28th, 1923, the first match to be played here was the cup final when the policeman on the white horse had to disperse a crowd said to be around 200,000. Well, tonight, most of the 75,000 or so in the stadium bought their tickets for this match 3 months ago. And they're hoping to see a proud record extended because England have never lost a World Cup qualifier at Wembley. Well, Graham Taylor's team shows two changes from that which won in Turkey. At number 3, Martin Keown replaces Andy Sinton. Pearce and Dorigo both still injured. And at number 9, Les Ferdinand gets his second cap after missing the match in Izmir with injury. Ian Wright's broken toe means David Platt continues to lead from the front. There has been a little anxiety about the knee of number 8 Gascoigne and the crowd's reaction to number 10 Barnes. Let's hope we see and hear neither. The Dutch come without Koeman and Van Basten. Koeman, the man they think they'll miss more. But they do have number 8 Frank Rijkaard, who we expect to play in defence. Number 10 Ruud Gullit, operating on the right. And number 7 Dennis Bergkamp, who they call the shadow striker because he'll start behind his partner, who tonight is number 9 John Bosman. The man whose diving header, the last time Holland came to Wembley, was the culmination of a 21-pass move. Perhaps the finest team goal seen in those 70 years of football in this stadium. The man appointed to see fair play is Peter Mikkelsen of Denmark, and among the crowd there are 18 young handicapped people from Holland whose trip has been paid for by UEFA as part of a UEFA Fair Play campaign. Holland won that award in the European Championships in Sweden. Well, I don't think we've looked forward so much to an England match since the 1990 World Cup semi-final. What do you make of it, Trevor Brooking?
Well, as you say, it's the first of 3 very big games for England. A lot of potential match winners, Gascoigne, Barnes, and of course in the other side there in the Dutch, Bergkamp and Gullit. Let's see who's going to come out on top.
Yes, and let's see as well how the Dutch intend to play this. I've got a feeling that number 6, Aaron Winter, will mark John Barnes. Certainly Rijkaard has gone straight to mark David Platt. Danny Blint, the number 2, is the libero where Koeman would have played. Gascoigne for England. And already a charge forward by Paul Ince. And a free kick not far outside the area.
Sort of position as well where John Barnes could get some early confidence if he got this on target.
Well, they had the Dutch defence backpedaling in the first minute, and Gascoigne and Barnes, you wouldn't want 2 better exponents of a free kick round the ball, would you? Tony Adams has made a run forward now to distract Gullit, who in fact is marking him at the moment. And it's Barnes. It's in! start for England and for John Barnes. Perfectly cued in there by Trevor Brooking.
Well, what a wonderful start for both player and country. Fantastic. And I think Graham Taylor, a lot of people criticise the selection. I had certain doubts, but you can see he whips it over the wall and the goalkeeper's no chance from the minute it left his foot.
Well, John Barnes, who was booed shamefully here against San Marino, gives the perfect answer, and they'll be on his side now, all right, and on England's too. The second minute, what a fantastic opening. Rijkaard. Played through the middle towards Bosman. Here's Winter. Palmer for England, playing with a pain-killing injection. Ince. And now Platt. Well, Barnes hadn't scored in the international since before the 1990 World Cup here at Wembley against Uruguay. Well, here it is from the other side of the ground. A beautiful curler by Barnes. And De Hoy hadn't even touched the ball till then. And that's offside, Bosman. What do you make of this atmosphere, Trevor? Quite one of the best I've heard at Wembley.
Well, I think everyone in the country knew how important this particular game was to both countries, to be fair. And of course it is a match that Holland can't afford to lose when you look at the sort of points that they've dropped up to now. But I think if England could get the 2 points from this, it gives them so much confidence then going into the Poland and the Norway away matches. So it's a wonderful start, and that's lifted the whole crowd.
And the through ball looking for Overmars, and help needed for Dixon here, and it arrived courtesy of Adams, his Arsenal colleague. Dixon again. Blint, Bosman, challenged by Palmer. Now it's Barnes. Ferdinand. Palmer's made a good run up with him here. This is Keown. Barnes. There's three waiting on the far side. Ferdinand goes in. Platt! Side netting from the England captain.
Well, it's a wonderful cross from John Barnes. I mean, he played a lovely little flick with the outside of his foot just before that. But you see, if he sees possession here, looks up from Keown, calls for it, he's wanting the ball now. Just wrong foot, Winter here, goes to shape to cross, takes it with the outside and whips it across. And just from an angle there, David Platt might have shown just a bit more composure.
This is Gascoigne. In fact, we had two men unmarked on that far post, didn't we? Palmer was in there too, and he's well forward again. Barnes. Now Bergkamp makes a forward run. A very good forward run, in fact. Walker was stretching, and Bosman trying to pick up the pieces here. Squares the ball, intended for Hullet, and Martin Keown just happy to get it away. I wonder how much Hullet's got left in the locker. They say he's not the player he was, but he might have to prove that one way or the other now. Knee heavily bandaged. Bosman coming across with Adams. Hullet. Aaron Winter. Wouters. Hullet goes again, he's onside. Keown was appealing. Bergkamp in the middle, flying header, but back again to Hullet from Walker. Bosman near post, and the first really anxious moment for the England defence, and it's disappeared with no damage done. Instead, it's Ferdinand. Ince who made that possible. Gascoigne just behind him. Ferdinand shoots.
Paul Ince who won possession, let Ferdinand run at the defence. It was a good shot as it happens, went through the defender's legs, and I think De Goey did well to hold on to it.
Bergkamp. It's made the Dutch improve their pace because they've got to chase something now. Gascoigne. Oh, look at that from Gascoigne to Barnes.
Ferdinand in the middle, flat further over. Good tackle. That is Wouters, experienced player. Rijkaard. Vichka. Overmars. That's where the threat looks as if it's going to come from. And Overmars looks up and sees Bosman in the middle and Bergkamp. And Wouters hanging back here will have the shot. It looks to me as though the outside left could trouble us.
Well, he's very good. I mean, Lee Dixon is marking him tight, but he's so sharp. He takes him away, then drops off, gets it short, knocked it back and went over the top. He's very quick. So as a defender, you can't get too tight to him. We then also saw Wouters on the edge of the penalty area, so his use of the ball is good once he gets in those dangerous situations.
He might need some help out there, Dixon. Blint. That's a good header by Hullet to Rijkaard. Winter this is. Palmer. That's Barnes. And again it was Carlton Palmer who made the run from midfield, and that's proving a very effective tactic. He forced Palmer there, forced by sheer presence the sweeper to give away the corner. And that will bring Adams forward, and Palmer can stay there. Gazza being encouraged to go across and take it. Adams is going to take up a near post position. Martin Keown going into the 6-yard box now as well. Adams with the keeper, De Hoy. This is going to be Ince on the volley. Oh, and a flying header away.
I'm not surprised he held his hands on his head, because that was a wonderful volley, wasn't it? And looked goal bound. Glad it wasn't me that headed it.
They're really packing that near post. Oh, and De Hoy wasn't sure there. It was Ferdinand came hurtling in. This is Gascoigne again. And still Gascoigne. Play on. He didn't think that was fair, but the referee allows Holland to continue as Hullet plays the through ball, and here comes Overmars. And Dixon had to come right across the pitch with him. Ferdinand forcing the sweeper away, but Ince had this drive as this corner was fisted out by De Hoy. It's a terrific shot by Ince, and it flies off the head of Johnny Bosman, I think, back there. Here's Bergkamp. Overmars. Vichka. Overmars going through again. Still Vichka. Too high for Bosman. Keown's clearance. 21 minutes gone. England lead 1-0. Keown. Flat. Palmer. Another good surging run by the number 4. He's getting up with the strikers all the time here. Shot was crossfield, was blocked by Winter. This is Barnes. Tries to go through two of them. Rijkaard knew a bit too much, but didn't get the ball away. Ince. Barnes again. Flat. And full-time defending there again for Holland until Vichka threatened to break clear. Ferdinand went back to fill in the midfield, and it's a free kick to Holland.
Another good ball in from Barnes. I would think Paul Ince and John Barnes were the most influential of the England players, with Carlton Palmer making some good surges also from midfield.
Here's Wouters. Well, Wouters played in the last match at Wembley. He played in the 1988 European Championships when Holland won 3-1 in Dusseldorf. We drew, of course, with them in Cagliari in the World Cup, but tonight it's England who lead 1-0. Adams. Blind. Palmer and Bergkamp. Oh, look at the determination by the Sheffield Wednesday man. Here's Gascoigne. Platt, Gascoigne, and it's going to come to Ferdinand. Hit the post, Platt, 2-0. David Platt on the rebound. England go 2 up in 23 minutes. Ferdinand had a hand at it, Platt scored it, and Wembley celebrates.
Well, it's a marvellous move again. Paul Gascoigne it was on that occasion, running at the defence, gets a rebound into his palm, it skews to Ferdinand, kept his composure, hit the shot, came back off the post, and that man David Platt is there to put it away.
David Platt, 18 goals now for England in 38 matches, a terrific record, 1 in 2, but that'll have given him particular pleasure on a night like this. It was a simple tap-in perhaps, but Ferdinand will take some credit too. Shoot across the goalkeeper, and you never know what might happen on the rebound. And the Dutch, beaten in Norway, find themselves 2 down at Wembley. Barnes. Back again. Ince. Gascoigne tangling with Bergkamp, free kick to Holland. Don't think Bergkamp will see the funny side of that. Well, Ferdinand shoots across the keeper. The ball comes back off the post, and Platt as he fell, stabbed it in. Vichka. Oh, and Wouters robbed there by Palmer, and Ferdinand is through the middle, and I don't think Palmer played the ball that really would have put Ferdinand on his way. In fact, I'm sure he didn't.
We can only say that Carl Palmer perhaps saw somebody out there that wasn't there, the invisible man, because Les Ferdinand was the one on. But I mean, it's the first almost mistake that's come from an England player, because for the opening almost half an hour, the team performance has been undoubtedly the best so far under Graham Taylor.
Absolutely right. And Palmer, the man who made that forward advance again there, as Platt goes through now and De Hoy is right out. Palmer's presence in that midfield, he's inspiring everybody, and the goalkeeper was stretched there. The men in front of him were non-existent. Barnes. Regaining his balance. Bosman. Rijkaard. Wouters. Vichka. Pull it now in the centre forward position as Vichka bends it in, headed out by Walker. And again, it's Palmer that gets the important touch. Ferdinand now. And Palmer continues his run through the centre. David Platt on the left. And it's still Ferdinand, and he gets pulled down by Wouters.
Considering how inexperienced Les Ferdinand is, he's done very well. His pace is always a strong asset. Going down the line, used it well, and just enticed Wouters in and won a definite free kick.
Possibly a yellow card offence that, but it wasn't shown, and Barnes has gone across again to try and conjure something up. Platt! Good save! Wow, he scored many from there, and it was very close to the keeper when he got the touch, wasn't it?
Terrific free kick. Look at the pace of that. I'm not sure he got the touch. If he'd have got a faint touch, it would have beaten De Goor. But again, on crosses, Holland do look vulnerable.
Well, the goalkeeper's only playing, well, his fourth international. He's really the successor to Van Broekelen, who's in the crowd tonight. And without Koeman as well, there's a lack of experience back there, and it's showing. But that's not taking anything away from England. Vichka, Wouters. Now Blind. Mistake by De Boer, and Platt closing in. Goalkeeper saved the defender there. There wasn't enough weight on the pass. And Frank De Boer gets away with it and then plays a forward ball towards the on-rushing Bergkamp. Trouble here, well done Woods.
Well, it's just one end to the other, isn't it? That was a breathtaking pass, and Bergkamp in his element, coming late like that. The first touch just ran away from him. Here, just get between the defenders, over Walker's head. First touch, and Chris was perfectly positioned.
That was Holland's best moment so far. Coming up to the half-hour mark, England lead 2-0. Keogh. Barnes. Lovely skill. Vichka. Overmars. Vichka. Walker away from Bosman. Keown. Looks for Ferdinand. Good pass by Martin Keown. Ferdinand has got three coming from the right. Dixon's made a run from right back. Gascoigne. There's Dixon. Platt's in the middle now. It's played behind him. Not quite there for Gascoigne either. Holland escape. And this is a bit dangerous because in escaping they've got England players marooned up the pitch. Bergkamp to Overmars. Dixon having to make his way back if he can. Still Overmars. And the free kick given. Palmer was fouled, and England really covered well for each other there.
Well, Palmer again, his long legs got in the way, covering back because Lee Dixon was caught up for it. I thought he did a terrific overlap, got in a good position and pulled the ball back well. And Paul Gascoigne had just stopped running, and it looked as if it was a bad cross, but it was a good pullback.
Whether the Dutch coach, Dick Advocaat, will think about moving Rijkaard out the back four. They're two down, and although it isn't yet half-time, they are flexible. They can change their formation. Barnes, Platt, but at the moment England threatening to do even more damage. Barnes again. Keown. Ferdinand. Ince. Another good try for the Manchester United man.
Applauding the chest down from Ferdinand, and there's a good understanding beginning to build up now with the England side. And it's been a consistent selection, hasn't it, from Graham Taylor this season, and he hit that very well. It always going over the crossbar, but if nothing else, it wasted half a minute.
Yes, you're absolutely right about the spirit. And there's Mr. Advocaat there on the left in the raincoat. He's really got concern written all over his face, and he should have too. Bullet. Gascoigne. Charging past Rijkaard. It was finally cleared to Vichka. Wouters. Looking for Bergkamp. Another dangerous ball. And he's chipped that one past Woods and scored. It's Bergkamp for Holland. A brilliant goal, you've got to say. And it's the turn of the 5,000 Dutch fans now to show jubilation at a goal on 35 minutes by Dennis Bergkamp, made here by Wouters. Beautiful chip, but he's come across the defender and the goalkeeper left standing.
It was a wonderful finish, wasn't it? A superb pass, they probed patiently. Magnificent ball into space. Bergkamp just getting a yard or two away from Tony Adams. Didn't try to be spectacular, just lifted it over Chris Woods, didn't it? Here you see Werters. Lovely weighted pass, and look, a little clip over Woods, no problem.
Expertly made and taken. Bergkamp's 13th goal now and his 22nd international. You can see why Inter Milan are paying so much money for him at the end of the season when he moves on from Ajax. Bullet. Oh, he's fooled Keown. Bosman's waiting, but Keown did ever so well to get a second challenge in and concede the corner.
They're having a good spell though, Holland. They've stepped up the pressure now, they've got that goal. It's an important period now, these few minutes leading up to half-time, that England don't concede a second.
Yes, and Frank de Boer is useful in the air. He's gone forward for this corner. But it won't reach him. This is Blintz. Bullet. Vichka. Blintz again. De Boer. Fired in for Bosman to head it back down. Brilliantly done. Oh, and so close for Aaron Winter from a great knockback by Johnny Bosman.
A wonderful pass from Bergkamp. That's why it's so difficult to pick up. Here he is, right on the left. He finds Bosman so unselfish with the knockdown. And Winter, just challenged by Adams, took the bit of the sting out of the shot.
It certainly was a lovely move again there by the Dutch. And Gascoigne has hurt the side of his head.
Just got a cut there, hasn't he? And I think everyone could do with a bit of a breather for about a minute or so now while he gets some attention.
Well, the England subs tonight include Paul Merson in the picture there. Nigel Clough's just made a run down the line as well. Also Lee Sharp of Manchester United.
This is just as they go up there, you get the elbow. That was a definite Werters deliberate elbow on the side of the head, which the referee didn't spot, otherwise it's been at least a yellow card.
Well, I have to report that Wouters now he's tripped an opponent quite deliberately on the wing and wasn't booked, and now he's put an elbow. There was no question from that angle that Gascoigne was elbowed in the side of the head, and I don't think it's one of those where you could say it was accidental when he was trying to get the ball, could you? Wonder if Gascoigne, if he's recovered from the blow on the head, might think back to the one he scored from here for Tottenham. But he has been injured, so maybe they'll leave it to Barnes, we'll see. And it's Barnes again, and it kicked a bit in front of De Hoy. Barnes swinging that one round the wall. De Boer. This is Vichka. And again, and Overmars is still stretching Dixon. Here's Walker. What an exhilarating first half. John Barnes got the match off to an electric start. David Platt heightened the tension still further when he made it 2-0. But Bergkamp cut England's supply just for a moment on 35 minutes when he made it 2-1. Good stuff from England though for the first half hour. Must have really pleased the manager, but he'll know that when you're playing Holland and they get a goal back, there's still a long way to go. At the start of the second half, Paul Merson is on for England in place of Paul Gascoigne. can only assume that was his facial injury that he suffered when Wouters elbowed him, Gascoigne. So Merson of Arsenal takes his place, and John de Wolf comes on at the back for Holland. And that, I think, means that Frank Rijkaard is being released to play a more forward role because they've taken off Johnny Bosman. So changes on both sides. And it might also be worth mentioning, as de Wolf takes up his marking position, that the last time Holland played here, it ended 2-2. So England have still got a lot of work in front of them. Here's de Wolf. And Rijkaard now finds himself in midfield, marked by Carlton Palmer, and Bergkamp, no longer the shadow striker. He'll now have to play right at the heart of it up there, possibly helped by Gullit. This is Wouters. Here's Gullit. Palmer. Keown. Blind. Overmars. Ferdinand. Ince looking for Dixon. And there's Merson. England then, who scored in the second minute of the first half, pushing on again at the start of the second. Barnes right in the middle of the area there, moving towards the thrower now. De Wolf, Merson. Ferdinand's in there, header out by Rijkaard. Palmer. Offside flag was nearly up, but they didn't bother with it because Holland had the ball. Wouters. Bergkamp. And Rijkaard is going to be dangerous in this new position. He's trying to get Gullit away on the right. This has changed the game strategically a lot, the Dutch substitution. Maybe the English one will too, we'll see. This is Rijkaard. Witschke. And the Dutch fans cheering every time Rijkaard gets the ball. They sense this could be a different setup. Overmars. Gullit coming in from the right, and Aaron Winter couldn't reach that. Now the news of Gascoigne, an indentation of the cheekbone, and the medical opinion was it was too dangerous to allow him to play on. So Graham Taylor was forced to make the substitution. Ferdinand, Merson, de Wolf, Barnes there with Gullit. This is Platt. Ince, good challenge. Ince and Palmer really stubborn in that midfield tonight, refusing to let the Dutch play round them. This is De Boer. Bergkamp. And Ferdinand's away on the left. Well found by Palmer. It's Ferdinand coming in. And the desperate tackle just about took the ball, did it? Danny Blind risked everything, but it wasn't, according to the referee, a foul on Ferdinand.
Sent clear by Barnes, and once Ferdinand's in that situation, he doesn't usually get caught, and Blind did very well. I think he just got a legitimate touch, but it was very close.
Well, 73,000 people in the stadium, and many of them screamed for a penalty there. In fact, Blind gave one away in Norway. He must have had his heart in his mouth when he made that challenge. Number 5, Witschke. And Bergkamp shut out there by Walker. And John de Wolf has been deputed to mark Ferdinand, and he's having difficulty. Here's the moment when Ferdinand went clear, a pass by Barnes, and he's away from Aaron Winter. Goalkeeper on the 6-yard line, and that was the challenge by Blint.
Well, I think actually the ball went away from him. I thought he caught Ferdinand there, so I think Holland were lucky to get away with it.
There you go. We'll have another look at that in a minute, but in the meantime, here's Wouters. And there's Winter, and Berg. Oh, and an England player lost his balance, Adams. Here it is again, Trevor.
No, Ferdinand touched it past him, and he got Ferdinand's legs, and to me it looked a clear penalty on that replay.
Paul Gascoigne is in the X-ray area, but I'm pleased to report it won't be as serious as the last time he was there at Wembley 2 years ago. They don't think it's serious, I'm told. Here's Blint. Witschke. Overmars. Still, to me, one of the most dangerous Dutch players, the number 11. He's dancing around it here, and he's gone right inside, and it fouls him on the edge of the area.
Frustration from Paul Ince, but I think he just lost his foot in earlier, and I think Paul Ince, trying to get back with his enthusiasm there, just lunged in when he couldn't possibly get to the ball and did bundle him over. And what a just difficult and dangerous position this is. You see he's behind him, he tries to make a tackle through his legs, clips him, and it was a free kick.
Well, now, we've seen Barnes score from this sort of position. This time England have to form the wall, and Barnes is right in the middle of it defending. And they've got to get this right, because there are so many specialists. Who'll take this? Rijkaard, Trevor?
They're all queuing up, aren't they? I would have thought Bergkamp or Rijkaard. Witschke with his left foot, but I would have thought it's more a right foot of Bergkamp.
Wouters! No, take it again. The referee not happy with the England wall. Somebody broke ranks. Paul Ince, frustration again. Adams, there's no point in lecturing the referee. The decision is a retake. Bergkamp! Winter! No! England escape. Ferdinand. Well, what a dramatic international this has become. There's something happening every minute. Palmer. And now Platt. On the right, Dixon cutting in. And they've got Merson on the left-hand side, closing in now. Palmer letting it run again to Ince, and the referee's blown.
It was just a handball from Carlton Palmer, but good blocking at the other end from the free kick. Martin Keown it is, just on the left-hand side, it just lunges in with Des Walker, but it was Keown it hit.
Well, it's again, he's beginning to influence this game now. That's Wouters, and Rijkaard's gone down the middle. Walker did the right thing. Got the ball away from Wouters there and tries to put Ferdinand through against the Boer. It's Ferdinand for England! And a great tackle! Magnificent tackle by Frank de Boer, but a terrible pass. He held his head and he saw what he did with the ball. This is Platt. Dixon, and Ferdinand stayed off the pitch to avoid being offside, but Merson now is.
Good play by Carlton Palmer again. He won it with those long legs and then played a good ball. And Ferdinand's pace is causing a lot of problems for the Dutch. And, you know, it's good to see England in the international arena having a striker who can destroy defences with his pace. And he was a bit unlucky with his touch, which took him a bit wide.
Here's Blint. Overmars. Away from Dixon. Witschke. You can't find a player on this pitch who's playing badly. There goes Ferdinand. The ball is played by Merson. Platt's coming in from the far side. Ferdinand's cross is too high for him.
David Platt shrugs his shoulders, but I mean, just a little bit too high. This is the other chance. You see, he goes to try go across the defender and allows him to get back and make the tackle. I don't think it's a surprise that the Dutch are going to make a substitution with Gullit coming off and Van Bossen coming on, because they needed the change, because I think England defensively have dominated since the interval.
Well, Peter Van Bossen from Anderlecht has a terrific international record, 5 goals in 5 appearances, most of them in this World Cup group, and he's on for Gullit.
Yeah, Gullit didn't look too pleased because he'd gone straight down the tunnel, whereas most players you would have thought would have sat on the bench hoping their side was going to equalise. Here's Van Bossen. I'm surprised he's playing on the left. Bergkamp still up by himself down the middle. I would have thought they'd have released him more to that deeper role again.
Well, Woods got a very close-up view of Van Bossen there, and vice versa it might be said. What they've done is moved Overmars over to the right wing. So I wonder what will happen when he comes up against Keown. It's all very tactical. There he is, Mark Overmars. He can play down either side, so that won't trouble him. And Van Bossen, who does tend to play a little bit on the left in past internationals, has come onto this side, as you say. And the England fullbacks have a new puzzle to solve, perhaps. This remains a testing second half for England, in spite of the fact that they deserve every bit of the backing they're getting from the Wembley crowd for the way they played. You have to play very well for 90 minutes to beat teams like Holland. Palmer. Well done again by the Sheffield Wednesday player. Dixon. Ince. Dixon again. Merson with the ball flat. Ince. It's going to come, is it to Palmer or to Barnes? Palmer. Well, he didn't seem to quite know where he was going there, but Barnes gives it to Keown. That's a decent ball for Platt. And now Overmars. Now then, up against Keown. And he's pulled him back. Well, that's a yellow card offence. Martin Keown booked.
I think if he booked the ball just in about the same position, he had to book Keown because he was away over.
Oh, look at this from Frank Rijkaard. There's so much promise about the way he collects the ball in midfield, and the Dutch fans will be hoping there's also something on the end of it.
First time he got away from Colton Palmer, but fortunately his finish didn't match the little touch past him originally.
De Boer. Just about a quarter of an hour to go. Wouters for Holland. Bergkamp. It was good play by Barnes. Fouled in the end by Blint, but he was giving it everything in there. And that's really been the hallmark of this England performance. They've matched Holland in lots of ways. The sheer all-round contribution of every member of the team is why they're leading 2-1. Overmars. Barnes gets a tackle in again. Now Winter. Rijkaard. And again Barnes. And now Ferdinand. No, it's Palmer out there. Ferdinand's in the middle now. Touched back by Merson to Barnes. Here comes Ince.
I think Paul Ince has just hurt himself twisting there, but he's also surprisingly got a free kick. I think he just lost his balance, but he seemed perhaps twist something as his studs caught in the turf.
Yes, two things happened at once there. There was I think the referee saw this as a foul. Ince takes the ball only just out of the area, in fact, when Frank de Boer made what from that angle was well, I was going to say an injudicious challenge, but more to the point for England, Ince is hurt. Paul Ince goes back into the fray as the Dutch wonder whether they can hang on here. Ferdinand's there. Couldn't quite